All right, guys, welcome to the Joe Rosen Show. We got Shonda Campanaro in with us. She's from Berkshire Hathaway. I can't even say it. Berkshire Hathaway. She's up in Jacksonville, and she is crushing it. I've noticed all the hard work she's putting in. She's all over Facebook, all over Instagram, and I see it's just crushing it for her business. And right now, realtors want to know, how do I get ahead of my business? So I love having people on like Shonda to show us exactly what it is we can do, the tangible things we can do to get our business up and rolling. So Shonda, I really appreciate you joining me.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited, nervous, but excited. This is completely out of my comfort zone, but you know, you have to jump out of your comfort zone sometimes. So
absolutely. Well, that's part of it, right? That's part of getting bigger, getting better, is just kind of failing forward and getting used to things you're not comfortable with.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when I look at your Facebook page, it's just boom, 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 a list of all the amazingness that you've got going on around you. Okay. I'll tell you, you've got 2019 Best of Jax Award. You get the 5-star award. You get the Relocation Specialist, top producer. I'm looking down your feed. I see awards you've got. It's endless. Tell me about 2 or 3 of those. What is it you did to get them? And what is it that sets you apart when it comes to those awards?
Well, the 5-star professional award, they just recognize professionals in over 40 markets. So they pick an exclusive group of agents who have an impressive track record, and they interview buyers, sellers, and agent peers. So yeah, I've been lucky enough to receive that award the past 2 years. So
that's incredible. So this Best of Jax, what is that?
That's an annual awards program held here locally in Jacksonville. And again, they interview, you know, other agents, people you've done business with, your peers. So I've been lucky enough to get that one last year, and I might be in the running this year.
Hopefully, huh?
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I think that is so cool, because I think that it's not easy to get strong numbers. Strong numbers are very challenging, but a lot of people are really good at putting up the numbers. But building the rapport with your buyers, with your sellers, and I would say most importantly, with the other professionals in our industry, that's tough. That's tough, right?
And that one focuses on quality, not quantity.
Yeah.
So it focuses on reviews, which is nice.
I think that's amazing. I think that's amazing. And we were talking a little bit about before we got on. I said, you know, top producer, is that like a specific thing or what is it? And I don't want to steal the words out of your mouth, but you essentially said, just about every month I'm kicking butt. I'm one of the best in my office, if not the best. You're putting up big numbers. So you're really doing a great job out of there.
I'm trying. Well, you know, it's really competitive in my office. Everyone in my office kicks butt every single month. So it's hard. And we all fight for the sign. We have a billboard that's out by the road. And the past 2 years, my name has been up there a lot. I mean, you know, it's not up there this month, but typically it is up there. So I do typically get, you know, a top award in my office. We have top listings, top producer, top sales. So I'm typically getting 1 or 2 of those. I did win 2019 tops in transactions for my whole office, and I am top 5 in my network. So Berkshire Hathaway has some strong competition, though. I mean, the agents are just kicking butt.
That's good. That's a good problem. And you are who you hang out with. Am I right?
Exactly. So.
Yeah. I've been in offices before that, you know, there's not a lot of action going on in there. And when you walk in, you feel like, man, am I it? What else is going on around here? And it kind of, your standards go down, you know, but when you walk in and there's a bunch of studs around you, you feel like it's just natural to be a go-getter. It's a different feeling, a different energy.
Oh, I absolutely love it. Like, you know, I told my husband my name's not on the billboard this month. I'm going to kick butt. I'm going to sweep the whole thing next month. But that's good for us because it's just fun competition, you know. I mean, I've had my best month ever before and my name not get up there. So you just never know. So it's fun.
Yeah. So you've got another thing that you put up on your Facebook profile page. And I personally think that this is really important, not just for other agents to know because there's value in it, but it's important for buyers out there to know. What is a relocation specialist, and why as a buyer would I care?
It's actually a professional designation. So I actually did a class to get this through my company. It allows me to work with national relocation management companies. So we do corporate relocation. So I am on the corporate relocation team. So if anyone is moving to Jacksonville and typically they're going to use Berkshire Hathaway because we are the best. There are 2 or 3 more that do corporate relocations, but more than likely we are going to be one of those companies competing for a listing, or we're going to get that buyer. And, we just help them transition. That's one of the biggest things in life, is to transition with a job. Sometimes you have 30 days to get into a place, and that's where, we kind of do the legwork for them and make it easy.
Yeah. So it's a lot different moving a mile across town than it is moving south from New York or New Jersey. It's a much different process. So having someone who's a relocation specialist, it's a much bigger deal, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. And a lot of times, it is just the husbands.
Yeah.
So, a lot of times the wives and the children can't make it. So there's a lot of FaceTime videos going on and things like that. So we just help them ease into that process. Not just anyone can do corporate relocations. You have to have that designation, and you have to be with a company that does it. And, Berkshire Hathaway is one of the best.
Yeah. So you mentioned FaceTimes. Would you say you're doing the same amount of Zooms and FaceTimes now that you were 6, 8, 10 months ago? Or has COVID really upped the number that you're doing?
Oh gosh, COVID definitely upped the number because, we have out of town buyers who could not come to Jacksonville, and they had to be in home. So, that was the new normal, just doing FaceTime videos, a lot of calls, a lot of, text, email. So, we're definitely doing, I'd say probably 50% more of that.
Yeah. I'm probably seeing 2-3 times more than that. And I think it's one of the great silver linings of this issue we've got going on with COVID right now. There are obviously a lot of negatives. Everybody likes to focus on the negatives, but it's forced us to all get better with technology, get better at finding a plan B, really presenting the home a lot better through video with our clients. I think we've all gotten better because of this. And it's been a little uncomfortable for a lot of people, but I think it's better for the industry, and it's really better for buyers and sellers in the end.
And it's good because people have stepped up their marketing game.
Yes.
I got into the market in the crash, so I had to learn how to go get the business. But newer agents who are getting in this market, sometimes it's like picking flowers. So they may not know how to go out and get the business if the market crashes. And I feel like this is a teaser of that. It helped them step up their game. So, COVID did not slow Jacksonville market down. Our market is on fire. We have very little inventory. We have tons of buyers just waiting for homes. My company just beat one of our records from 2004 for the month of July. So we're slinging some houses here.
Yeah, we're seeing the same thing down here. And I'm going to ask you some questions in a bit about the market. But before we do, you are absolutely crushing Instagram. When I saw your numbers, we got a pretty boring industry, if you ask me. Unless you're in real estate isn't all that exciting, right? So to be able to get 11, 12,000 people to follow you and watch what it is you're doing as a realtor, that's pretty dang impressive. So tell me, what is it you're doing? And if other realtors are watching this and they want to mimic a lot of what you're doing and build their Instagram, give us 2 or 3 tangible tips that you'd recommend they implement.
Well, daily post. You have to post something every single day. It doesn't even matter what it is. Just post. Just be seen. You need to know your audience, definitely, and put out good information. My Instagram is not the best Instagram in the world, but I do get likes, I do get followers, and I love it, but I engage with them. That's the key, because you may get a follower and they may drop off. So don't collect followers, actually engage with them and build relationships. The whole business is about building relationships.
Yeah. God, I love that. Yes. I'm a huge supporter of that philosophy. So all the effort that you've put into building this Instagram, what impact would you say it's had on your business?
Oh, all of my business comes from social media, and and not just from other agents, but just my own sphere and my own past clients. I'm staying in front of them, and that's the best marketing you can have is word of mouth. So all of my business comes from word of mouth, past clients, and other agents in other cities, because I am in front of them all the time. No matter what I post, they are seeing me. So I am kind of imprinting my name in their brain.
Yeah.
They're probably sick of seeing me.
Yeah, that's a good problem though, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm a big fan of, if you're going to coach agents on doing certain things, you can't do everything, right? You've got to put your time into places that are going to be efficient for you. They're going to be productive. When you're looking at the amount of effort, you're saying everything that you're getting, or a large part of it's coming from social media. How much time would you say you're investing every week in your social media?
Not that much. I try to make at least a post a day, and then I try to make myself spend, 10 to 15 minutes actually engaging with people, actually sending a message. Hey, how's your market going? Do you have a lot of buyers and sellers? Is there anything I can help you with here? And I tell them, I'll definitely reciprocate and send my buyers to you as well, because I like being able to pick out the agents that my buyers and sellers work with if it's not going to be me.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. So let's shift gears here a little bit and talk about the market. Pre-COVID, tell us what Jacksonville looked like, and how has that changed over the last roughly 6 months? Has it gotten busier, less busy? What does it look like?
It's, Jacksonville market is so hot. It's basically the exact same. It's, busier. I mean, again, we had no inventory. We were slinging a lot of houses, and now it's just worse. I mean, the market's crazy here. So, I mean, I've already beat my numbers from last year, and the majority of that business happened during COVID. So I don't think it really affected us. It had no effect on us.
Yeah.
We pushed through. And that's the beauty of technology. It allowed us to push through.
Yep. And you said inventory's dropped. Is that right?
We have no inventory. It is insane.
We're in the same boat.
My Facebook all day long is in search of just tons of agents, out there asking, hey, do you have a listing coming up? So that's the way it is here right now. Yeah. Which is, that's a good problem to have. But
yeah, it's better than the opposite. That's for dang sure. You got in what year?
2007.
Yeah. I mean, you were kind of right at the peak, or maybe just a hair over the peak. And 2008, 2009 sucked. I mean, it was tough. And you had to work for it. You had to be smart. You had to learn something that nobody really knew, which was foreclosures and short sales. And you had to maintain relationships. You had to prospect. Social media, even if you were good at it, nobody was really on it, not like they are now. So it was just a completely different market. So I think that, that's really interesting. The markets are so interesting to me. And this whole, like, COVID has had such a different impact on the stock market, and the lower class and the middle class and the upper class and real estate, and it's just had such different impacts. It's so interesting.
Well, luckily we were deemed an essential business here, so we never had to stop working. We did not do in-person open houses, but other than that, nothing changed.
Yeah,
we a lot of video tours. We didn't do a lot of in-person showings, but we never slowed down. We never quit working.
So I'm getting maybe 2-3 calls, emails, whatever, from investors every week saying, hey, Joe, I know COVID's going on right now. I need a deal. Give me something I can flip. What would you say to someone up in your market right now, an investor who's looking for a flip? Are there those opportunities out there, knowing that it's such a strong seller's market?
There are those opportunities, but we're fighting for them. I work with a lot of investors, and we're putting in some strong offers well over ask price, and they're all going. I mean, they're going multiple offers. So it's definitely a great town to invest in. There's huge potential, with the NAS Jacksonville. We have Mayport, so with the naval bases and things like that, all the hospitals, the huge corporations coming to Jacksonville. But, investors are fighting for those opportunities right now because so many people do want to invest in Jacksonville.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a really great conversation the other day with a good friend of mine. And we were talking about, right now there's a moratorium on evictions. There's a moratorium on foreclosures. So it's really challenging to tell what the impact COVID's had on the real estate market is, because we're not seeing the foreclosures and the evictions at this point. Once that's released, what would you guess the next 3 to 6 months after that lift is going to look like?
I really don't see it affecting us here. I don't see us going into the short sales and the foreclosures here. I mean, our market is strong and we don't have a lot of people out of jobs. And again, I have talked to other agents in other markets and they're worried about that, but we're not.
Yeah.
We're definitely not. I don't see that happening and don't want it to happen. I remember those short sales.
I know, it sucks.
We actually had to negotiate them ourselves with the bank. So I cringe thinking about that. But I don't see that happening in Jacksonville at all. Our market is fabulous. So.
Man, I hope you're right.
I
hope you're right.
Lending's not lax now. I mean, it's hard.
Yeah.
So I don't see that happening.
Yeah, lending is way different than it used to be. I also think that the equity position right now is a lot different. I remember when 2007 to 2009 came, nobody had equity in their homes. There was no way out. There was no refi. There was no selling and making $3,000. It was, do you want to sell and pay 25 grand to sell?
Exactly.
No, I don't. Okay, well then we're doing a short sale or a foreclosure. That, and I don't, obviously if the market dips enough, you'll see that no matter how much equity people have, but the equity position seems a lot stronger.
It is stronger, and our market has gone up so much to where, I have buyers and sellers that have sold the next year and still made a killing. So I don't see us falling into the short sales. I may be surprised, but I just don't see that happening.
Yeah. So last question. We've got, the biggest focus I've got, the biggest audience I've got on here are newer realtors or realtors who are maybe doing, 10, 15 deals a year, and they want to see what studs are doing to get to that next level. If you were to give them 2 or 3 tangible things that they could implement into their business to improve their business, increase their business, what would those 2 or 3 things be?
To new agents?
Yeah.
Get out there and talk to people. I mean, tell every single person that you see exactly what you do and how much you love it. New agents need to get dressed and go to the office every single day. They need to treat it like a business because it is a business.
It is a business.
So, I mean, and again, never tell anyone how long you've been in the business. I remember, my first month, people would ask me and I'd go, seems like forever.
I've never heard that one before. I like that.
So I never wanted anyone to know that I was a new agent. So I didn't act like a new agent.
Yes.
So I tried to be as professional as possible. And I, got to know my market really quickly. So you have to know your market. You have to know your numbers. So.
Yes, I'm big on that. You made a statement that really resonated with me. You said you got to tell people and you got to tell them how much you love it. Yes. I remember losing a listing presentation once, and the guy was really kind about it. He called me back up. He said, Joe, I'm going to go with another agent, but I want to give you the professional courtesy to call. And I said, hey, man, thank you. I really appreciate that. Can I ask, why did I lose? And beat me up, man. I want to hear it. He said, honestly, you came in and you weren't overly enthusiastic about my house. He said, I thought you had the better presentation. I thought you had the better numbers. I liked what you did better. But I didn't feel like you loved my house. The other realtor came in and fell in love with my house. I thought, man, I got to be a better actor. So you're so right. You need to express to people, I love you. I love your house. I love real estate. I love working. And don't just, at first maybe it's a little fake, but truly build that in yourself.
Yeah.
Start to love waking up. Start to love going in, getting dressed, going to the office, being around studs. I think that is, it's such a small statement to make, but it really carries a huge backing to it.
It does. And it makes sense because I've been told that. I've been told, when I have won, bids for listings against other agents, I ask the people, why did you choose me? And they tell me, you loved my house. You were excited. You were authentic, you're real. I tell people how it is. I don't go in with a huge PowerPoint presentation and try to sell them on my company or on me. I just build a relationship.
Yes.
And it works for me. It may not work for everybody, but it works for me.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I do a lot of these interviews, and when I'm talking with studs who are producing, almost every single one of them is saying, you really got to forget about the numbers, forget about the money, forget about the transactions, and just focus on the person in front of you. How do you help them most? How do you give them the most amount of value? How do you make them the happiest, make them the most comfortable? And it's really all about just building that connection, building that relationship. So what you're saying is absolutely what resonates with all the top agents. Yeah. Well, hey, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on. If you guys love what Shonda was saying, you want to go be number 12,001 on Instagram, you can go
Yes,
up top here in the comments. Yeah, exactly. You can see we've got all our information up there. Shonda, is there anything else you want to put? You got a website? What's your website?
ShondaSellsJax.com.
Boom. That's easy, man. I like that. Jax with an X?
Yes, Jax
Jax with an X. All right. Well, thank you much. I sincerely appreciate it. Until next time.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.